Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Darren Hepburn. I'm the Operations Director here at NewZapp Communications, and today we're going to look at NewZapp surveys. Everything starts from when you've logged in, coming into your create and send area. It's from here, you'll always see your content, your emails that you've created, your landing pages, and now we have surveys. So we can click on here. From surveys, you'll see all of these surveys you've previously built and sent. You can either turn them on and off using this status here. You can see how many questions each survey was asking, the responses. You can also edit previously built services. You could redistribute a survey that you've made either via NewZapp itself or via any other channel. You can look at your results and you can get the copy link if you want to send it, like I say, via other channels other than your NewZapp platform. So let's start by creating a new survey by clicking up here under New Survey. Next screen that we see are some choices of some pre-built surveys, some employee net promoter scores or product feedback surveys. I'm going to select an empty survey and I'm going to give it a name, data survey, and I'm going to create survey. Now we're into the editor for your survey. Familiar sort of layout, everything is dragging and dropping across from the left, and all of the choices that you can add to your surveys are here. So I might want to start the day with a little bit of open text and maybe first name if I don't want this survey to be anonymous. Anything you add into the survey, you can set it to be required, or what sort of style or format can be changed after it's dragged in. And we can also affect the title. So I'm going to call it the same as I called it earlier on. And I can always give it a little description. And I can also add my company logo by clicking up here. So let's add some more bits from over here on the left. I'm going to add a rating scale. The default for rating scale is numeric, but you can change the labels to stars or smiley faces, however you feel. I'm going to change this one to smiley faces. And I'm also going to increase the amount of options from 5 up to whatever number that I see fit. There are other things I can add over here. We can add checkboxes. And we can add drop downs. They don't have to be one on top of each other. We can add these checkboxes to the left or right of any question, or the bottom or the top. I'm going to put this one next to it. So now I've got two, not wasting too much real estate because I've got two questions side by side rather than one under each other. So this question here might be, what did you think of the survey video? And people can give it a rating. And this question can be, what did you like the most? And we can say answers being the content, or the presenter, or the speed, for example. Question 4 is a pull down. What would you do differently? And again, you can add your items. Change the content. Change the presenter. Especially because of his terrible spelling. And so on and so on and so on. If you see a question that you don't really need anymore, we can always just delete it. So now we're building the bare bones of our first survey. Now I'd like to show you something really cool, and that's conditional logic. Conditional logic is the presentation or the hiding of a question based on a previous answer. So I'm going to bring in some long text underneath our smiley faces. And I'm going to say, oh no, what didn't you like? This question will only appear, thanks to the logic, if the recipient clicks on any one of these unhappy faces. So how do we do that? Over here, we have conditions on this particular question. And we have make this question visible if, and we've got a little edit. Make this question visible if, select question 2 is less than or equal to unhappy face, and then apply. So how does that look in real time? We've always got our preview button up here. I can give that a click and you'll see that question's missing. So if I come along here and I tick this, nothing happens. If I'm dead happy, nothing happens. But if I am unhappy, my question pops up. That's conditional logic. Let's go back to the survey. What else can we do? We can play around with the themes. We can change it to dark. We can affect the color of the header. We can change the fonts, the font sizes. We can change the background to either be a color or an image that's uploaded. There are different styles up here: layer, 3D, contrast, plain, flat. Anything that you want to make a change to the way your survey looks is all available under themes. Logic we've already touched on, and we can see that our logic for that question is ready to go. And I'm pretty happy. This survey is ready to rock and roll. Once I'm done, I can just hit distribute. Here, I'll get a choice. Here is my link to the survey. This is the link I can use to distribute it via Teams, Viva Engage, private Facebook groups, LinkedIn pages, anywhere that's public. You'll be able to put that link on there and get some results back for your survey. Or I can click distribute, and NewZapp will fire open your email editor with a little default template that you can completely change as you would any regular email campaign by adding your header across the top, clicking on that, and that survey button is ready to go with the link of the survey that we've just built. So let's assume we've sent this email through to get some responses. Let's have a look at what responses actually look like. I'm not going to go through the sending of this campaign. I'm just going to go quickly back to my surveys, and I'm going to grab the link for this survey, pop it in a browser. So here's our survey. Let's fill it in. Darren, what do you think of the survey video? Didn't like it. Oh no, what do you like? The presenter. What did you like the most? The content. What would you do differently? Change the presenter. Complete. Thank you for completing this survey. So let's go back to NewZapp. And looking at our surveys, refresh our screen so we can get a look at some reports. Now we can see there's been a response now to this, and we can click on results. And we can see word clouds for anything that are text-based, or we can change those to text in a table. What didn't you like was the response, the presenter. We can see a gauge of how the results are coming in. There's only been one reply so far, so we're at 3. And we can see a bar chart of our checkboxes, and we can see a nice bar chart of our pull down. And again, these can be changed to different styles as you wish. Really nice reporting overview of everything that's been going on with this particular survey. These are the graph views. You can also, up here on the left, change these to a table view, which gives you all of the data in its rawest format. And it's from here You can click on download as a CSV or download as an Excel if you'd like to look at the data in more detail in either one of those variations. So that is the whistle-stop tour of NewZapp surveys, creating your first survey, adding some conditional logic to that particular survey, distributing, and then taking a look at the reports. If you have any questions or queries at all about NewZapp surveys, please do get in touch with your account manager and they'll be happy to help you build your first survey for your contacts. Many thanks.